Alrighty. And there we have Mr. Nicholas Mudimba.
Good morning.
Good morning. We won. Yay.
Who's we?
Kenya.
I thought you see, Smart is talking about a 9-year absence.
No.
Lifting a trophy. Come from behind.
1 day since Arsenal last won a trophy. 1 day.
That's it. How many trophies?
Exactly.
How many trophies?
Do you know,
Thank you.
How does that
How
survive?
many
How many
trophies?
months has it been?
And
How many months has it been?
how long?
Exactly. I mean, those are the big questions. That's what's important, right?
You know when
so you're saying you have the latest trophy.
no one else has taken the trophy. How do you survive? Nick, how do you survive with the shield? It's called shield.
Someone went to actually find out what's in your trophy cabinet. He had a mask on, tear gas mask on.
Too much dust.
Too much dust.
Too much dust.
And then so long.
All the same, we won our matches today, and I'm joined by Patrick Korir. Welcome, my good brother. We'll be discussing more about Harambee Stars. So, quickly, we saw how our boys played. We lost chances, and of course, the 1-0 win, we survived. We were operating under slimmer margins of operations. But what do you think about the game, basically?
Okay, I'd say the game first was very cagey. It's one. At some point, I got lost, honestly, because that midfield was too packed, and it was even worse that on the other side it also was too packed.
True that.
So in terms of, if you're trying to look at exactly what the game plan was, you could not see it from the Harambee Stars, but you could see it from the Comoros, because they had a very good line of defense.
Absolutely.
And they're flat four, and just ahead of that, they also had players falling back.
Yeah, true that.
So they just kind of locked the back line. And so Harambee Stars were left running around.
All right.
Yeah, and that brought a lot of talking points in the sense that people were asking, so exactly what some players were doing in the midfield, especially.
Yeah. What do you think about the new inclusions, the likes of Olum and the rest? What do you think? Did they make any impact?
Olum was excellent, I'll tell you. For some key areas, you know, when you put someone in central defense, there's certain aspects that you look for.
True that.
First, he was very good with high balls. When they came, he went up to clear them. And then secondly, he was very calm and collected.
Absolutely.
And every time someone came in, you could see he was telling his other players, just cool down. And he had very precise tackles. So I think he did well on his debut. I mean, this being his first time, 29 years old, but it's never too late to come in.
And he's a champion back in the US.
And he's a champion, MLS champion, yes.
Absolutely. Now, the likes of Ayub Timbe, we also saw our boys here at home. The squad wasn't that balanced, but I can read here a comment from someone who said, Coach Adele, what criteria do you use in fielding your players? What's the rationale of fielding Aboud, who has an injury, and leaving out Musa Mohammed, who is fit, fielding jet-lagged Olum, and leaving out Atudo Jamal, and leaving Mariga or Akumu out? Then, at what point do you make a sub? Do you have a super sub? Avoid making mistakes. Do you think this comment from your site, actually, futa.com, do you think George Achuo?
I'd actually like to disagree with him, because I can understand where he's coming from. Aboud has not been playing very regularly for Tusker.
True that.
But then if you actually saw how he played yesterday, he was one of the standout players for Harambee Stars. He was very good on his left back position, and he kept going forward.
True that.
So he performed exactly how I'd want a left back to perform. So I don't dispute him being fielded. He's good at it. Now, I think the other, Olum, I'll also, of course,
jet lag.
Don't agree with him, although the jet lag actually played a part.
But
because he actually got to be pulled out because
at a point in the match, he had a muscle.
Yes, exactly.
The guy cried.
The guy had 17 hours to get here.
Flight, and then he forced him.
And then straight onto the pitch.
Right.
But you can actually understand Adele, because he played a game on Thursday morning. And then he took a flight, he arrived here on Saturday morning. And then, well, really, he just had a day to practice the rest of the team. Then he was thrown onto the pitch.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but he actually had to do a sacrifice to be here, because I think on Tuesday his team actually plays no, actually yesterday night they're supposed to be playing a game. So he actually sacrificed that game to come for the Harambee Stars. So naturally, when you do 17 hours, you just have to field someone.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the wonder goal. Johanna Omolo's goal, because these are one of the goals we used to see the likes of Sandy Ulysses scoring.
1998 World Cup.
Absolutely.
That's one of those.
That goal was...
It goes back to my earlier conversation. The defense was locked. In fact, I was very impressed by how the Comoros played. They had a game plan. Now, how it looked like is that there was actually no way you're going to penetrate that defense line. So the only thing you could do was to try something out of the defense line.
Absolutely.
And he had to take something like a shot.
Special shot.
And that was an excellent shot, I think, for his debut goal. That was excellent. It's one of those things that he'll remember all the way until his old age.
I think let's hope we're going to repeat that goal several times, because it's one of the goals it's rarely seen on Kenyan fraternity. Because
but if you actually think about it, in the last 2 years or so, we've actually seen very similar goals. When we played Angola, Mariga 88th minute, he scored a similar goal. Oliech, when we were playing Guinea-Bissau. But then there's something that, Nick, we need to talk about, that a lot of spectators went to the Nyayo Stadium. They were counting. Okay, so when is the 5th, the 6th goals coming? And you know what? Even the first was not coming by.
Meaning we lost a lot of chances.
Because not even really. It's one of those things you look at. Who? Comoros. Who are those? That's a team with slum 7.
Absolutely.
But then football has actually changed.
Complacency came in.
Yes, of course. But not really, not complacency. It's you go into the game with the mentality we're going to beat this team. On the other hand, they're prepared better than you, because they know that you're higher ranked. You've got a lot better quality players than you. So they prepare much better than you. So what happens was, it's Comoros, we can't beat them. They ranked 188.
You just see that goal on your screens right now.
Excellent goal.
It's one of the excellent goals, because we understand Mariga coming in this time, the second half now. Was there any magic about it, because we saw Jamal coming out? Was there any impact?
There was. In fact, one of the key talking points was why would you want to field Jamal? Why would you want to start out with Jamal and leave out Mariga? I think I can explain that, because Mariga hasn't been very active for a very long time.
All right.
And Adele believes in Jamal. But then, now, I'd agree with the comment that you just read, where he was asking at what point do you do substitutions, because I think Mariga came in a bit too late in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the moment that he came in,
there was some change in
Oliech, who had been looking very bad because he's not getting his traditional passes from Jamal, suddenly woke up and he was in the box. He should have been given a penalty. He went down, it was denied, but you could see that suddenly he just had a burst, like, you know, his mood just changed the moment Mariga came in, because Mariga knows exactly how Oliech plays. And you could see when he brought that cross, Oliech was right there. It's only that it was brought down. So you could see it changed that. You could see he came with the physicality,
changed everything,
and you could actually see that he was a class above the players who were already on the pitch.
All right, now let's talk about the match in Comoros, because we understand those guys are going to give us a hard time, because now they're used to us, they've known how we play. But is it for Adele to change the system of play or the approach? What do you think about now?
I'll tell you, Dick. Very quick solution. Adele just needs to call Mourinho. He needs to borrow the bus. Because I understand, what you need.
I think so. Because I understand Comoros, we took them softly, but I think they're going to give us a hard time.
They will. You know, 1-0 is very slim. Because what happens is if they score 1, then we actually go into penalties.
Yes.
Once you get to penalties, it's anybody's game.
Slimmer margins of operation.
Yeah, so we'll actually need to defend a lot better, and then we'll just have to look for a goal. Because I understand, very early goal, and then we defend. Now that's when we need Mourinho's bus.
It's not a good solution. But let's now talk about our defense as Harambee Stars, because we saw Comoros coming in strongly with set pieces, and we really sluggish in defending those things. What do you think about the defense? Because I understand Atudo was out.
Atudo was out. Atudo was out. Actually, was sacrificed for Loom. But I remember yesterday when watching the game, one of the things we talked about was if you actually look at the free kicks, because they couldn't penetrate the Kenyan defense.
Absolutely.
But if you actually look at the set pieces they got, most of those set pieces were actually conceded by Yohana Omolo. And me had actually said at some point, you know what, despite him scoring, I'd actually pull him out, because if the Comoros were going to score, it was out of one of those set pieces. Luckily, they couldn't score.
True that.
So it was part of the game plan, because they couldn't penetrate. So what do? Try and commit. So someone gets fouled and they get a free kick. They didn't make use of their chances. Now, if they do make use of those chances, then we have had a task away in Comoros.
Now, from our local game here, let's talk about La Liga, because it was a dramatic ending. And you see, Barcelona, they gave Atletico fans only 470 seats compared to 19,500 seats. You can imagine how was that, because the equalizer, boom, closed everything.
I think even before you talk about the equalizer, the goal that Sanchez scored was a classic goal.
I think it was an unbelievable, and I repeated that goal several times. Was it a shot just to go anywhere, or was it a...
No. It was well timed. You could see it just went round a defender.
That was a crack
to the roof, right at the corner, the right corner. So that was excellent play. But then we have to give credit to Atletico, and they were most deserving team this season. The last one in 1996. But then you went down at the Nou Camp.
A very scary stadium.
The pep talk during halftime was, in the first 5 minutes of the second half, we must get that equalizer.
But you see, the equalizer, we forgot about Sanchez's goal. The equalizer was heartbreaking for those guys. We forgot about it. Yes, it was.
And it was actually well-timed header. And they scored a lot of such headers, by the way, this season. So it was, I think, they're the most deserving team. It would have been very unfair if Barcelona stole the title.
So finally, next season, what do you expect from maybe Spain? Because England is a closed situation.
Well, Spain, in terms of the league?
The Liga, that is.
Well, I think one of the things I foresee is that Atletico are going to lose a lot of players. So I don't suppose they're going to be defending the title.
Now, as we wind up, let me bring in Smart in this 9 years drought. And I understand you guys won the FA Cup, coming from 2 goals down. Good luck, but next season I don't see you guys replicating the same. It's going to be
next season I'm going to see you
guys relegated. We have a new coach coming on board soon. Van Gaal is coming on board soon. So I think we don't talk about, we're going to win
the future.
The future
is what matters.
We are using King.
Preach.
Thank you. What can you say about it? Because this guy...
No, you know, this debate is endless, so I just rather keep quiet.
But no, it's good to wait on the future.
I thought
on the future.
Yes.
After you speak, I just have the final word.
Nothing smart.
Oh, that's what you're waiting for.
On how it's looking.
On the future about the club.
I like how Sophia...
I think, okay, they've broken down 9 years of without a trophy. So I think the future is that they begin another drought from next season. So I think 2021, somewhere there, we'll be talking about...
What's your name again?
I forgot my name.
All right, bro. Check for James.
All right, Nick, thanks. It's been real.
That's the history gone. 1 day since.
It's been 1 day since we won a trophy. I don't know how other teams
feel excited.
You know,
so now 9 years. That's what.
But you know,
2023.
All the best in the coming years, because I foresee a very hard time for you guys.
Another
come on board. Please talk to him. Come on board to United.
Number 7. Come on board, number 7.
We're just 2 weeks old from number 7. 1 day old from winning a cup. So
Nick, I'll tell you. Someone actually said that Wenger should actually leave right now.
Yes.
On a high, because he just wants.
But you see,
but he's just committed to stay on.
And they should get James Martin.
He's the guy who sits on the board. Sophia, he's the guy who sits on the board.
I don't think that's a very good choice.
He can't fire himself. He makes decisions.
Just decide I'm not going. I'm staying.
The way he talks, I would think I will not be living Arsenal's variation.
Yes, so someone was saying you should actually just leave.
He's excited,
You have a point. Though. On a serious note, I think you have a point.
And then Arsenal try someone else.
No, this is when he should, exit. And like, the other fellows who are exiting and still managing.
Finally, the guy is accepting a next plan. All right.
Thank you, guys. All right. Glad you're watching Morning Express. When we return, the way it is on. We're looking at the big stories in the past couple of days, analyzing them here. No holds barred discussion for you. Don't go away.